This episode is sponsored by Zenro Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories at zenroclothingco.com and be sure to use offer code SOCRATES at checkout for 20% off select items. Also, if you're not into spending the money, just check out the Zenrail radio playlist. zenrailclothingco.com, music for your everyday. This episode also sponsored by The Pornian Bakery. If you're located in the Pornian area of Scarborough, Toronto, be sure to check out The Pornian Bakery, say what's up to Arville, and pick up a donut or two. Baked daily, crafted with love. This episode also sponsored by Podbean. Podbean is the podcasting platform of choice. It's the one that me and Vish use, and is great, you know, if you're looking to start that DIY podcast yourself. Definitely check out Podbean. Use the link podbean.com/SocraticGamers and gain 1 month of unlimited podcasting for free. Test it out, build that content. Anyone can podcast, right, Vish?
Yep.
Start a podcast and get your ideas out there. All right, enjoy the episode. All right, before we jump into the craziness, because I know this is going to get super dark because of what happened yesterday. Have you been paying attention to it?
Yeah, I watched like 40 minutes of like DW News talking with different reporters, perspectives, actions, or reactions, or possible reactions. Yeah.
Okay, we'll save that to the end because I feel like that's gonna be a long discussion. But it was interesting because I woke up this morning. I saw it like yesterday, and I woke up this morning, and then I was like seeing it in my feed, and then Tara woke up, and then I was waiting to see if she would see it in her feed, and she didn't, and I was like, interesting. I was like, oh, what's on your feed? And she's like, I don't know. Why are you asking me that? I'm like, oh no, nothing. And then like a little time goes by, and then like yeah, I asked her again, and then she's like, no, I don't know. And then I told her, and she's like, oh boy. But it's just like, wow, algorithm feeds are so, like, you know what I mean? It's like, that is your world, bro. If you're not seeing it in your news feed, because I didn't even see, like, the news. So, like, if it's not on social media, I'm really not going to see it.
Yeah, you know? No, I mean, I didn't, I was probably watching a show. The only reason I knew of potential things may happen, but I didn't, like, it was all of a sudden that it happened, right? And I think my brother just called me. Yo, did you hear? They just did the thing. They just dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, really? Then I had to, like look it up after he said that.
So, that's so crazy. Was it yesterday when he said that?
Yeah.
So, okay, I was doing some, like, boxing stuff with your brother, and we were just chatting about it before I was going to leave, and then it was so funny. He's like, yeah, it looks like they're going to do this thing, and then I got home, and then I saw it in my feed. I was like, dude, and he's like, yeah, we were just talking about this. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, it was like riling up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. I want the full backstory because he seemed to know, but I had not in my feed. But before we do that, you gotta do some, like, balance it out with a little positivity. Sure. Jump into like some negativity after. Okay. It's so interesting when you think about your life like a video game. Okay. So when we were in like university, right? Like, you know, they were playing like Sims, and it was like, that's cool to watch another person do the thing. Like, if you play Sims in the house, you can learn like skills, but all you have to do is you have to put your sim in that thing. Like, let's say play guitar. So put the sim to play guitar, and then you wait for the bar to load. Okay. And then like over time, you could speed up the time so like it goes faster, but really you're just trying to max out the skills for your sim. Okay. Shout out to your brother for this, because I was like, oh, you're actually watching that develop into a thing. So he had been going to like climbing twice a week. Like, he committed to it, and he's going for the yoga, but then he started climbing. And then I climbed with him like I think like last week, and he was consistently hitting V2s. But in the beginning, he couldn't even get a V0. Like, he was like falling off, like his grip wasn't there. But then watching him climb the V2s, I was like, oh, dude, you literally got better. Like, I watched your skill build. You know what I mean? And like, then with the boxing, I was like, okay, well, let's get back into boxing because like I want to do some training too. But not like he's not holding for me. I'm just like teaching him. And when I see like the slight changes too, it's so interesting. You're like, oh, you're literally getting better. And I'm like, we are literally video games, bro. You just have to put in the XP time. That's it. You know, like when they're like, oh, I'm going to go farm out XP to like level up my character, and then you could fight the boss. And we
Yeah.
never think of it like that. You're just like, oh yeah, it's just like I'm just gonna go to the gym or I'm gonna go do this thing. But like literally, they say in jujitsu it's like time on the mats, right? But time on the mats is just like you're farming your XP.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I just need
Yeah.
to learn how to move in this direction. I need to like feel this balance. And the more experience points you have, that's literally what XP stands for, experience
Yeah.
points. You know? And then you hit a new level and you're like, oh dude, you can hit these now. Like he's not even on V0 anymore. It's like straight V2s. He's like
Mm-hmm.
encroaching on V3, which is like where I'm at. And it's like that that obvious jump is so fascinating to me. And it's like that is the secret to life. I really think so. Because if you just keep doing the thing, you keep farming the XP in that specific direction, you're gonna get better at it. But a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people just like get bogged down by like the progress of it.
Yeah. I think the time, right?
Yeah. No, wait. I have one more, not just time, but keep going about the time. The
Um,
time.
well, that's what they say. Like, all these people that put or like to have like is it New Year's resolution, but a lot of them
Mm,
stop after the first month. Well, because you have to continue doing it because you're not seeing it. The progress won't happen within 1 month, right?
yeah.
There will be some change, but you have to stay consistent towards it in order to actually have long term change
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
100%. And you know what you're right about the time, but the thing that makes the time so painful is your mind. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if you know what I'm saying, like if I tell you to hold your breath for a minute, oh, a minute's gonna feel like forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I tell you to like play this game for 1 minute only, you're like, dude, I didn't even get past the loading screen,
Yeah.
right? Time is fully relative, right? It's just your mind like jumping into that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I love martial arts because it is a way to watch your mind in a reactive state.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing other things like I'm sewing, you can't really see your irritation, right? But if you're doing martial arts, it's like you get upset, and it's not for me, right? And this is a psychoanalysis for your brother. I know he's gonna listen to this, so like this is a great breakdown of it. Because I kept telling him, I'm like, I'm not even reprimanding you, bro. You're reprimanding you. Because like he'd mess up on the combo, he's like, oh, blah, 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 and then like he'd go on like a 1 minute tangent about how he sucks, and I'm like, no, just do it again. And then like, da da da, and then he'd like mess up one time, and then he'd go on like now 30 second later they're getting shorter, but like he's still going on these tangents. I'm like, you notice I'm not I'm just going, hey, nice, good job, that's the one, good job, keep going, right? But like him pausing to reprimand himself messes up. It takes away time, right? But also it messes up your uh like your feedback on yourself. That's your self talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, it's because I'm a teacher, and like that's all we do. We like reprimand. You got the answer wrong. You know what I'm saying? But like when I teach, I've noticed this even when I teach like jujitsu and stuff. It's always just positive reinforcement. I got that from EMA. Shout out EMA. You guys taught me how to teach, and it's just like you can either. It's like if you classically condition a dog, right? Or no,
Mm-hmm.
not classic condition. It's like positive reinforcement. So every time they do something right, you say good job. But then every time that you do something wrong, oh, let's do it again. It's not like
Mm-hmm. Right.
there's no negative there. It's like either we do it again or good job. Keep
Mm-hmm.
emulating that. Let's do it again. Okay, right? And doing those moments of like me being like don't even say anything, just do it again. Just do it again. Just do it again. It's like you're learning how to stop the thought and just do it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than being like, oh, I suck, because that's a lot of negativity you're placing on yourself. You're adding weights, right? Just like, don't even add the weight. Just rep it again. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you messed up, rep it again. You didn't even see it as messed up. Just rep it again, rep it again, rep it again, right? And like, I got this once from this guy. I showed up at a seminar, it's like stick fighting seminar. And then this dude, he won't listen to this podcast, but he was like, "Oh, you're probably gonna go climb after or something." And like, because they're like, the one guy there was like, "Oh, are you tired?" And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm tired." And then he's like, "But this guy's probably gonna go climb." And I laughed. I was like, "I actually climbed before coming to the thing, right?"
Right.
And some days I get like really burnt out, like from
Mm-hmm.
my schedule, because it's just like go, go, go. Like, all right, work, martial arts, climb, martial arts, work. It's always like a repetitive thing, and it's like it's not. It's only difficult when I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, oh, 7, time to go. Oh, this, time to go. I've like cut out that self talk and just moved, right?
Right.
And because I'm just moving, it's like that you're just farming XP. I go to jiu-jitsu, farm XP.
Hmm.
Okay, go to this Arnie's class, farm XP. And then you're like, dude, you're so good at these things, but it's like, no, I'm just farming XP all the time. I'm
Yeah.
not thinking
Right.
about the thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Right? And then you can do certain things to distract yourself, like music, or like you just like need a reset. You don't even need like a full day reset. You just need like, I'll just listen to 3 songs and then I'll feel better.
Right.
But it's
Yeah. Yeah.
really
Yeah.
like, it's really just the farming. And I think that it really hit me watching your brother do this because I'm like, for myself, I'm like, am I just good at martial arts? Am I just good at like doing these things? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just farming more XP than other people.
Hmm.
And it's just like, if you look at it like that, it's like, who's farming more XP? Then you just want to go to the gym. Be like, oh, dude, I got to farm XP.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And that's like the video game analogy. When I say
Hmm.
like just play
Hmm.
it like a video game, it's like, yeah, of course you can like choose, do whatever you want, but at the same time, it's like just farm the XP, bro. You know?
Yeah.
But I
No. Yeah.
really think that's the secret of life, right? It's
Hmm.
like, oh, how'd they get so good at presenting? They just farm more XP,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah. I think that's um, more experience. You're going to be always better at it. That's just
Right?
yeah. That's
But we
default.
don't
But
think we think
yeah.
of it so hard. You're like, oh, you gotta. So that's a lot of experience, man. Damn. But it's like, no, just
But I think you're right
farm
though,
XP,
and
bro.
I think we understand that. I think we're not understanding the other aspect, which is the negative influence that you are putting on
That's
yourself.
it.
I think that's the main
That's it.
thing. Yeah, I think that's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Right. And
Mhm.
then you're like, dude, my body's like beat up. Like when I do these things, it's not
Mhm.
like I'm not tired. Because people are like, dude, you have so much energy. I'm like, no, I'm just not giving myself negative self-talk. Right.
Mhm.
So like your brother got tired, and I was like, oh, you're done. He's like, yeah, yeah, I'm done for today. And I'm like, okay. But I could have kept going. If
Mhm.
it was me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do this next. I'm gonna do this next. Of course, I'm tired, but it's like, no, I'm farming the XP. And then you're like, oh, my body's. There was one time, so my old martial arts instructor, shout out Michael, he was the best. He pushed us to do 3 classes in a row. So we did one, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna go home now?" And I was like, "Ah." He's like, "Come on, you do one more." And then we did one more. And he's like, "Oh, it's one last class. You might as well just do the last one." I was like, "Oh, you're right, right." I went home that day and I felt like I got hit by a truck. I literally was like so sore. I had to take Advil to go to sleep. I was like, my full body was in pain, right? But it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, but that's like the leveling up process. And then the next day I was like, oh, I'm conditioned better. And then now like I can just keep going. But it's like you need to break through those moments of pain. Like of course it's gonna hurt. But you're
Mhm.
not going to like rip, although my shoulder is still quite hurt. But I think that's like a different issue. But like it's like the body can take a lot more than you think. And I
Mhm.
think that's the other thing. It's like with the negative self talk, you're like, oh, this hurts me. I shouldn't do this again. Oh, like I could barely walk the next day, right? Like if you do squats, let's say, your legs are going to be so like
Sure.
thrashed.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, I can't even walk. Oh, but it's like, no, that's just a part of it. And then you get better. And then you're like, oh, okay, it's less painful. It's less painful. It's less painful. But like that, that fear there, you know,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, like it will go away and it's not actually a detriment to you. It's a detriment in that moment.
Mhm.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
yeah, that sucked, but like tomorrow I'll feel better. You're
Mhm.
not actually hurt. You know?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, now take this another level deeper. So
Mhm.
like how do you apply this to your life? And that's the craziest part about it too, because it's like, okay, yeah, martial arts. Martial arts for me is like a vehicle towards like life development. Because it's like a microcosm of the macrocosm. If you can do it in martial arts, you can do it in real life, you know?
Mhm.
I was at this like work thing, and I noticed that people are very. It's weird when you live in the online world when you work and then you interact with human beings, but the only human being interaction I like physical human being interaction I actually have, like this is still digital, right? Like I only am surrounded by like Tara, martial artists, and people who climb.
Mhm.
Like physically, like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
see anyone. I'm working, of course, but it's like a virtual world, right? So like you get to see certain interactions, right? With those level of people, like climbers are just like, I'm dead set on this thing, and they're just vibing out, right? And then martial artists are like, I'm gonna kill you, bro. It's like we're all here to fight. And then you have like Tara's Endy, so it's like very professional. But then going into like the world and like in a setting,
Mhm.
like with the photography. I don't know if you saw, I shot something. I was like, oh, people are like insecure. There's like a worry that you can pick up on. I don't know if it's like just being around a lot of martial artists and like being in fight or flight scenarios all the time. You can see, because I use that all the time. Like when you're sparring with someone, you're like, oh, you're scared, and then I can
Mm-hmm.
like dominate with my energy, right? It's like it's like picking up on that. It's like, is that what most of the world is? Because I was like confident, but it's like I knew competence is confidence. So I was like, I could beat everyone up here. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm like whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure, I mess up, but you want to fight? You know, it's like it's always that base level because that's
Sure.
we're animals, right?
Yeah.
So like it was interesting to feel that, but then at the same time be like, oh, are most people running off of this emotion of like unsure, worried? You know what I'm saying? There's a
Mm,
few moments where I was like, yo, chill, chill,
right.
it's
Yeah.
all
I
good.
think it
I was like, it's all
depends.
good, man.
Yeah. It depends on, I guess, the area or the what you're surrounded by. I don't know if that's the normal,
Okay,
necessarily the normal. Could be the specific normal to that venue or whatever it is. Right. You know what I mean? Like you're going to martial arts. So if your world is only martial arts and you're thinking, is the whole world only thinking like this? No, it's only in martial arts, right?
right.
How
That's
are
what I
they
mean.
reacting in different scenarios
Oh, I see. Outside of
outside
the
of
dojo.
those? Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that actually. Yeah, you're right. Because it's like maybe we're all just putting on an act.
Mm-hmm.
But I try not like I try to be basically the same person. Well, people are like, "Oh, you're more like talkative in other scenarios," but I'm like, because I'm here to train, bro. You know what I mean? Like we're martial. I'm not trying to like be your buddy. I'm like,
Sure. Yeah,
you know,
but
and
that
then
gives a
like
different impression than what it is like on the outside, right? Or who your friends
true.
are, right? Right? Or like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah. I
depending
see what you're
on the
saying.
scenario, how a person may react or act, depending on how. So if they're around something that they're not too sure about, they may be more insecure. But if they're around areas where they feel that they know something more about, maybe they're more secure in themselves
Totally. No. No.
and how
Yeah.
they would
Confidence
act.
and
Yeah.
totally, totally, totally. Confidence and competence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're competent in that thing, so they're feeling confident. But
Mm-hmm.
then it's like not just that. It's like it's also like the fear of being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's like I don't know about the thing, I'm not afraid to be like, oh, I don't know, or like,
Sure.
sure,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like, but it's like everybody's posturing to be right, and you're like, why? Well, you can't possibly know everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Sure.
And then it's like, are you afraid we're gonna find out you're a phony? Like that's my thought. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, is that it? Or like people who get like angry quickly because they're nervous.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, what do you think about this? And they're like, and you're like, oh, chill, bro. Like, because they don't want you to ask that question because then it might like worry you or like they haven't really thought it through and they're just, you know what I mean? I feel like there's like a shallow, superficial nature to,
I'm
but
sure there
again, it's
is.
like,
Yeah. That's living through instinct or reaction versus like taking in knowledge or thinking before you do something versus being reactive.
yes, yes. But okay, there are people though that I'll give you an example. So like it's like a martial arts, right? I had this one instructor where it obviously wasn't working, the move. And
Mm-hmm.
instead of being like, oh, this move sucks, like when I teach, I'm like, if it's wrong, I will troubleshoot on the spot. And then some people are just like, you can't ask questions. I'm like, ask all the questions you want because I want to know if this works too. But if I don't have the answer, hey, I don't have the answer. You
Mm-hmm.
know? That's how I approach it. Whereas some people are like, "Oh, you're gonna tell me," like they'll copy a move from someone else, and then they were teaching it, and just wouldn't work. I was like, "Never work." I didn't say that. I'm just like, you know what? That's a hard job. I've been an instructor. I understand that people, you know what I mean? But then like the students be like, "That would never work," and then the instructor in the front's just like, "Oh, you're gonna tell that this person they're wrong." I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, that person's not here. You're here. You know what I mean? But like, why are you being so defensive?
Right.
Just be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe it won't work.
Hmm.
Like, why don't you say that? You know? But it's like we have this weird veneer of always trying to be right. It's just like, why? But that's society.
Sure.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
society. Actually, I don't know. But
Hmm.
like being around like our Tara is a doctor, right? So it's like if if I ask her something, it's like I don't know. Let me check it out, right? Whereas like other people, like it's like, well, I'm a doctor. There's a
Sure. Sure.
difference.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
feel the
Yeah. Yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
right? It's like, I don't know. Let me double check and get back to you,
Hmm.
right? Versus like, well, I'm a doctor. Whatever I say is correct. It's like I'm the black belt here. I'm the instructor here. You're just like,
Right.
bro, chill. Like
Hmm.
we're all human, and like maybe it's not gonna work. But then it's like that to me is like your
Yeah.
confidence level is like low. You know?
In some way, yeah, I would agree with that, or just like the power structure. Um,
Okay, okay, okay.
if
Power
that
structure, very interesting. You said that.
if that is an issue with that, right? Being an instructor or like being a doctor, you feel like uh, the you I've done all the study, I've got to be right. That kind of like the power
Yes,
thinking that way, right?
yes.
So
I
there
have a
there there is
title.
an issue with that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's funny you say that because the power structure. So like I've noticed that it's the people that have lower ranks, like in work, like like there's like a coordinator, manager, director,
Hmm.
head of an organization, whatever, right? So I've noticed that as you go up the chain, they get more and more defensive. But the people at the bottom of the chain, I'm more chill talking to
Hmm.
because they're just like, I don't know, I'm just the lowly person, right? So
Yeah.
they don't have that like fear. But then you ask like a higher person, and then they're like, like, whoa, why are you asking me this? You
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
I think it's like you said, it's like that power structure. So you want to like posture that what you're saying. You're the best
Hmm.
because you're afraid you might lose it. You know what I mean? I guess maybe.
Maybe part of it is that could be true, but I don't think that it's also like with that seniority comes more responsibility. So if there is anything wrong, it goes back to that person, not the person at the bottom,
No, totally, totally, totally,
right?
totally. But like also at the same time, double check your work then, or be like, oh yeah, I messed that up. Like have the
Yeah, yeah,
confidence to
yeah.
double check, or have the confidence to be like, oh, I messed
Hmm.
that up.
Hmm.
Because like think about it this way. Okay, you're my boss right now, but let's say you get fired and you're just another human being.
Hmm.
We're on the same level then. You're unemployed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why do we have this structure of higher than another person when if you were fired, we'd both be unemployed?
Hmm.
So it's like, so what does that mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's with like the money. I feel like that's with everything that
Hmm.
we have in society. I really feel like society is like a fake. Not all of it's fake, but it's like a weird posturing game that we all play. And you're like, why are you playing this game? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. That's because we've created this, you know, version of society. There's different kinds of societies out there. But
Mm.
this is the one that's right now the leading one, right? I thought the big one that everyone around the world is following generally, or the
Yeah, totally.
right.
Totally, totally, totally. Yes. And this goes back to like the idea of like meritocracy. Cause like
Hmm.
you a lot of people will like get a position out of sheer luck or like, oh, right place, right time. You know what I mean? Or
Sure.
like they did really good in their interview, so they just like spoke highly. But I've seen
Hmm.
so many videos of like you just use ChatGPT on the side to answer the questions, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But like meritocracy, it's like what have you done to get you into that position? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like as I've ranked up in a professional sense, I ranked up through meritocracy. I didn't
Hmm.
just like fall into that position. And it's just like that's why I also don't care because it's like I know where my skill lies.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And like and at the end of the day, it's like they say this in martial arts: a black belt only covers 2 inches above your waist. You have to cover the rest when you're in the real world. See
Right.
what I'm saying? It's like when we step outside, we don't have any belts, bro. But just like now think of it like stepping outside, it's like being unemployed. It's like, okay, you're unemployed. Can you pick yourself back up? Do you have the skills to like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
And I feel like a lot of people are so worried that they don't have anything, that they're so worried to lose their job. And it's just like, maybe you shouldn't be in a position where you're so afraid to lose your job, you know?
yeah.
Or is that just me? I don't know. Is that a weird way to think, you know?
Uh, I mean, yeah, it depends on the level of responsibilities that you have. So, yes and no. it's I don't think it's the same for everybody.
Like what do you mean? Like, what I'm saying is like, if we just all lost our jobs, we'd all be humans. So it's like,
Yeah, 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 of course. Yeah.
why do you need to like fake that you're better than me, bro?
No, I agree with that.
You know?
Yeah, yeah,
It's weird,
yeah.
you know? Yeah.
But we've
And it's
always been playing.
interesting.
That's such a human thing. It's a posturing game, right?
Yeah, I know, right? It's so weird. My
But
my favorite
I
thing
think
is
it's
like,
like
yeah.
it's. I don't know how much of this is. Probably it is. It's all like in our genes or DNA. It's like the gorilla thumping his chest. But
Yes.
that's what it
Yes.
is,
Okay.
right?
Okay. You know, I just thought of something. You know, how people are like, "Oh, they're so humble." You
Mm-hmm.
know, like
Someone,
so
sure.
like whenever I trained in a new place, and or like if anyone asked me like how long, only recently have I been saying like how long I've been training,
Mm-hmm.
but usually when I go into space, they're like, "Oh, have you done this before?" Like, "Yeah, a little bit," you know, or like I was shooting an event and I was like the photographer, but they didn't know that I had made all the designs in the place. And then this one guy was like kind of condescending, like, "What do you do, buddy?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a marketer," you know, and like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's but like, and then I just laughed because I'm like, yeah, you're weird, bro. I'm just gonna take these
Mm-hmm.
photos, right? But then like other people were hyping me up, like, "Oh, dude, he made this and he made this and he made this," and it's like, to you, you're like, no, I'm just not posturing. I'm not playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what humble is? You know, people are like, oh, they're so humble. It's like humble is literally just like you're not playing the peacock game.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's like if I walked in and like they're like I trained at this one place. Okay, they still don't even know, um, unless they like unless they do a deep dive. But like when I started going to like this knife fighting place, right? They're like, "Oh, you done a little bit of this," but it's like, "No, dude, I literally have a 6th degree in this, bro." But like, I don't tell you, and I'm like just
Mm-hmm.
doing the moves, like, "Oh, he's pretty good, he's pretty good, yeah, you're doing really well," you know. And it's like only a year in did you find out that I have more martial arts skill, and then that's why I started teaching. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, he's humble. It's like, no, no, I'm not humble, bro. I'm just like not playing the game. Like, I don't need to walk in and be like, listen to me, guys. No, I'm there to like, what are you guys doing? Like, okay, let me see if this is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, is that the secret? It's like once you farm enough XP, you can just like be humble. But being humble really just means you're not playing the peacock game.
Yeah. 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 Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think the secret is just like, yo, it's a video game, man. Farm that XP, and then it doesn't matter. You can take that XP wherever you go now. You know?
True. True. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I
I really think that's the secret. I really think that's the secret. Just like think of it like a video game. But nobody like when I say it all the time, my life a video game. My life, people are like, yeah, he plays it like it's not real. It's like no, not just it's not real, but like actually think about how a video game operates. Like all of the elements, you
Sure.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Okay, this is my boss battle. You know, I just gotta beat this boss. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like whether it be like getting a needle or fighting in a tournament. You know what I mean? I don't do tournaments, but like it's just another boss battle.
Mm-hmm.
Like your life is just filled with boss battles. You know, they're just like analogies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a girl who got over. I saw this one time a long time ago, and I was like, oh, she's onto the same things as me. She got over like either Lyme disease or depression
Mm-hmm.
using video games. So like what she'd do is like she wrote down this thing where like going outside. It's probably depression because she's like go to a social place and have a coffee, right? And that counts as like 10 XP. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And she wrote out these like lists for herself, and like each one is like an XP point, and then she wanted to hit like 250 XP. So she has to do a bunch of things to hit that 250 XP. And then because she was playing it like a game, she wasn't like associating the negativity with herself. She's just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I lost that round. Okay, cool. I'll get XP this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she like got over her depression that way.
Mm.
Because when you do it, your brain doesn't know you're playing a game. Your brain's just rewiring itself according to the scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the XP thing that we're talking about, like farming the XP. XP is just like neural rewiring.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
neuroplasticity is real, and you're just reshaping your brain through XP points.
Hmm.
It's like you know when you press start on a like you play an RPG.
Sure. Yeah.
You know you press like start and then like it show you can click on their levels and then you can like even spend some points to like get the triangle and it's like I want more strength points. All right, cool. Da, 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 right? That little start menu is just your brain in a neuropathic way.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, well, why don't we look at it like this? I don't know. Maybe nobody played video games or like it sounds stupid. People are like, oh, it's so dumb, but it's like it works though.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. There's a lot of that people view video games, but not really. You're breaking it down to like the other elements of it and where it correlates to human life, right? If you were
Yeah,
just viewing it as like a
a
2D
pastime.
thing, yeah, pastime, they're not really looking at what the whole experience is teaching you.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's like something to it. I think the Japanese are onto it because I saw this other thing about like anime is the reason why people gravitate towards anime is because it's like perennial wisdom, like hidden gems told within a story. And everyone gravitates towards it because they're like, oh, these are real. They talk about chakras, they talk about like social dynamics, like JRPGs plus anime equals life. Like the tenets I said about like my life a
Hmm.
video game, that's JRPG, bro. Japanese RPGs. Like Final Fantasy, you know?
Yeah.
That's all I'm using. And
Hmm.
then you
Hmm.
have like anime teaching you the lessons. There's something with like the Japanese culture that they like tapped into like what it is, you know?
Hmm.
Even though they're like overworked and whatever, people talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I don't think it's just Japanese culture, but there are these stories about these things or morals of stories. It's just I think the current popular medium is the Japanese one, right? Um,
Fair. Yeah, you're right.
I
Yeah.
would say that.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's like Western culture is very like anti spirit.
Hmm.
It's very materialist.
Uh, it's funny to say, but I don't know. Maybe modern Western thinking. Sure, I can agree with that. Yeah.
Right? And then now we're slowly. I really think UAPs are the bridge back to that because now we're talking about consciousness and like spirit realms and stuff. But it's like, dude, that's an anime. Like when I see all the UFO stuff, I'm just like, you guys are talking about anime, bro. Because they're like, oh, you can consciously pilot crafts with your mind. I'm like, you guys ever see Gundam Wing? You guys ever see
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
Esclafone? Same thing, guys. But they're just like, this is so innovative. Or like Spirit Realm, it's like Yu Yu Hakusho, bro. We were talking about this for a while. Even Studio Ghibli with its like Spirited Away. There's different realms. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we're like UFOs are the Western bridge back to what we all kind of knew.
Hmm.
Even indigenous cultures, they all knew about like the spirit world. Shinto religions about the spirit world, but
Hmm.
we've like shunned it for material reductionist. It's like, oh, it's just a plant, bro.
Hmm.
And then like science is like, oh, plants are conscious and they all talk to each other. Like, what? It's like maybe the whole
Right.
world is conscious. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything else about that before I jump in
No. No.
to
It's all
another?
interesting. Good analogies
Yeah,
of video
fascinating, right?
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Damn, bro. We need to normalize playing life like a video game.
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, so another thing that happened this week that I thought was interesting was the Kendrick and uh, Drake beef. And then, do you see that Jagmeet Singh went to the concert? And then,
Hmm.
so I guess it must have been Drake because it was from the. If your comment is on the right side, it means it's like you're the one who sent it, right?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So I guess like Drake screenshotted it and then put it online, and then he was putting Jagmeet Singh on blast about going to the concert, and then Jagmeet Singh put a public apology saying like, "Oh, I shouldn't have gone. Real talk. I understand. Whatever, whatever." And I'm just like, "That's kind of an ick, bro. Like, you're a grown man. Like,
Yeah,
what are
that's
we
what
talking here?"
they're. The one I think you sent me the clip where it's like, I don't. You're just a civilian now. You don't have to apologize for anything. It doesn't like it
Facts, facts. Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah. Like, dude, chill, bro. And then there was a news one. I don't know if I sent you this one, but there was like a news thing, and this Indian dude was like, yo, I totally get it. Me and Aubrey, I respect that guy. He's done so much for the Six. I would have never went to the concert. I had free tickets, but I didn't go. And I'm like, all right, one, why'd you call him Aubrey? Like, you know him, bro. And like, two, this guy doesn't, like, again, he doesn't know you. So, like, why are you representing so hard for a guy that literally doesn't know you? And you're just repping something because you're repping it
Hmm.
because everyone's repping it. And then there's like an old black woman. She's doing the weather thing, and then they're like, "What's your take?" Which is kind of racist because I mean, you're gonna ask the two BIPOC people their takes on this Drake beef. It's kind of weird. But then they asked her, and she's like, "He's a grown man. He can do whatever he wants." I was like, "Yeah, exactly, bro. Like, chill out." But why do we feel the need to represent celebrities simply because it's like a bandwagony thing to do? Like okay, so I like Kendrick Lamar because of the values, bro. If Kendrick Lamar was doing like weird things, then
Sure.
I'd be like, oh, I'm not in favor of it, right? But he's literally rapping about like redressing trauma, working out, saving your money,
Hmm.
not, you know what I mean? Like these are all good values, you know? And then everyone's like everyone in Toronto, not everyone, but like weirdos in Toronto are just like, yo, get out of our city, bro. Drake's the GOAT. He's the god. He put us on the map. It's like, really? Like, he put us on the map? It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure. Yeah.
it's kind of weird, bro. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
what is your, and you know what the news reporter said? He's like, yo, Drake brought in so much money into Canada. Like, we got to give him respect. And I'm like, so did Tim Hortons.
Well,
So,
I don't
so
know
did
what they.
Walmart.
Yeah, what do they mean by he brought in more money? Like, or brought money into Toronto? You don't like what? Give me the evidence of what it actually he did, right?
No, they said like hundreds of million dollars. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, but what does
sure,
that
100 millions of
mean?
dollars
Sure.
for sure. But like, if we're really going against numbers here, then it's like, okay, how much money did Tim Hortons bring
Hmm.
globally? Like, you can go to like all these parts of the. I think I saw one in Dubai, a Tim Hortons in Dubai. You're like, oh, they're putting Canada on the map. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's real.
Sure.
The Toronto Maple Leafs putting Canada on the map, bro. Raptors, they won a championship, putting us on the map.
Yeah.
But like
Exactly.
one rapper is like, come on, man.
Hmm. And there's other artists. It's not just one, right?
The weekend,
In that
the
way,
weekend
the
is lit.
weekend is yeah.
The
That's
weekend
true.
is literally from Scarborough, right? Toronto's from like not Toronto. Drake is like from Forest Hill or something. It's like a Jewish area. It's kind of near here actually where I am.
Hmm.
And but the weekend is actually from Scarborough and he's the most streamed artist in the world. How come they're not like, yo, the weekend put us on the map?
Hmm. Right.
It's because Drake is like the six, Toronto, and it's like, okay, but like, let's look at values now. Like he's literally sleeping with a bunch of porn stars. He has an illegitimate child that he didn't want to claim was his until he got the DNA test. It's like, bro, what? You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, you want to support that?
Right.
Yo, he put us on the map. Like, it's like, okay, are you a loser too? Like, you know what I'm saying? No, like, no offense, but like, well, respectfully. That's the
Hmm.
new thing,
Hmm.
right? People always say respectfully, and then they just insult you.
Right.
Um, right? But like, no, but think about it. It's like the dude, the anchor, he's like, he's like riding so hard for Drake, but it's like, name, name one influential figure that names Drake as their best artist. Obama named Kendrick Lamar as his favorite artist. Bro,
Hmm.
like, you know what I mean? Like, what influential positive figure is naming Drake as like, yo, he's Drake, bro. God's plan, in God's plan. Like
Right.
nobody's doing that
Yeah.
because they know that it's like weird,
Hmm. Right. Yeah.
right? So it's like, and then only the people that are like they seem like losers too. No, respectfully, they seem like losers in the video. They're like it's just a bunch of kids and a bunch of like weird like Southeast Asian dudes being like, "Yo, Jake the man, yo." And then Filipino, oh God, Filipinos. I'm Filipino too, so it just hurts my soul. But they're mad at Kendrick, and I'm like, why? I'm like, why? Like, yo, it's all because Drake's best friend is Filipino, and Filipino people ride and die for one another. So it's just like,
Okay.
and they're just mad at me because I'm like, I don't like Drake. I'm like, why? I used to like him, but like, you know, it's kind of weird now when you look at the body of evidence. It's a little weird,
Sure.
the stuff that Kendrick brought to light.
Hmm.
But it's like, are you a loser? Really? Like, stop emulating loser behavior. That's all I'm saying.
Mm.
You agree? No, it's just art.
No, I don't care about celebrities in that way.
That's the other thing too. It's like, why do you care so much, bro? It's like, be a positive role model. I like your music. That's it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to. I saw this thing about I haven't posted it yet, but it's so true. It's like we support celebrities so blindly, and they don't even know who we are, and we don't even support our friends. That's crazy, bro.
Sure.
Right? It's like you see a friend going to the gym. I'm so in support of my friends though. Like, if you like post something that's like, yo, I'm trying to level up. I'm like, yeah, keep going, bro, keep going. But like, it is weird that people like try and tear you like crabs in a bucket mentality. Like, oh, I'm trying to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're trying, bro. You're trying to go to the gym,
Right.
and you're like, come on, man. He's trying. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. This like celebrityism has like tripped me out so hard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
weirdest one is when the weirdest I this is like I won't say who it is, but a mother was trying to talk to me about the Drake and Kendrick beef, and I was
Hmm.
like, I humored, well, I humored, but in my head I was like, lady, do you listen to either of the music?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Drake is such a baby. Really? I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. They were like, Drake is such a baby, and I was like, why? You know what I mean? Just why? What's wrong with his music?
Right.
Maybe
Hmm.
you do
Hmm.
like his music. That's the only thing. It's like I ride or like not ride or die, but like I see the differences, and I'm like, okay, I'm on this camp because this is a better camp. But then like I guess they were trying to like have a combo or something. I don't know about it, and it was just like it's like, do you like either songs?
Right.
You know, what I mean? It's like, so why are we gonna make fun of a dude we don't even know? Like maybe you do like his music better.
Hmm.
Hotline Bling, like I just prefer this. But it's
Right.
like you don't need to ride or die. You don't need a bandwagon with me
Hmm.
for me, just because which camp I'm on. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like celebrity culture is weird. Like, anyways,
It's been going
any,
on for centuries though. So.
it has, and that's like the false idol type thing. When
Yeah.
people are like, you shouldn't. Oh, I was listening to this crazy. You know who Scooter Braun is?
Nope.
So he managed Taylor Swift, basically all the top artists: Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, um, Demi Lovato, maybe, and Ariana Grande. Those are his main ones, like that everyone knows.
Hmm.
But he's managed like a ton, and basically, uh, he's being sued by like Taylor Swift right now, and then all of the other people dropped him. So I listened to him on the Diary of a CEO podcast. And one thing he was saying, because like they were talking about the downfall of Justin Bieber, like his psychoses or whatever, and the guy was saying how human beings were meant to be of service; they weren't meant to be worshipped, and that's like messing with Justin Bieber's head because it's like so many people worship you, so like, but you're just like 13 when he found him, and then he blew up, and like his whole life has been in the spotlight, and it's like
Hmm.
messing with his head, you know, and it's like that is a false idol, bro. We like the Bible warned us about don't have false idols
Hmm.
because it's weird. Like it's just another human when you think about it. Like
Yeah.
why am I? Like, when I saw Kendrick Lamar in concert, I'm like, oh, dude, it's just a dude. Why are you so obsessed with a dude?
Hmm.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So many things with our society that we're just like confused about. Yeah. Um. Okay, now let's delve into some negativity. um. Okay, before we get into the potential World War III, the ice thing has has gotten even crazier. I listened to a podcast with Forbidden Knowledge, and he was saying that this isn't about bringing out the bad people, although there are, like, sure, there might be some. It's really about supporting the economics of the military, not the prison industrial complex. So, like, when you detain these people, people got to get salaries. People have to pay for food. People have to pay for, like, logistics, building these structures. You know what I mean? Like, literally the prison industrial complex.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, when you think about that, plus the on the ground thing. Remember, I was like telling you about my training partner who, like, said it's very Nazi-ish. They'll ask you for papers. He's Mexican too, so, like, he's feeling it. And he's like, they're literally just pulling people out and, like, boarding them up, and it just seems crazy right now. He's coming actually back to Toronto. He told me this morning. He's like, I can't deal with this. And he said, like, a riot will break out and then he has to run. And I'm like, dude, that's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, America, like, do you see one thing Billy Carson said about this is he's like, if there's a civil war in America, then it goes into martial law, and if it's in martial law, you can extend a president's term.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, is that the play? And I was like, wow, that's like 5D chess, maybe. What do you think?
Uh, well, the whole ICE thing is crazy, right?
It's crazy. What does it stand for? Immigration.
Something
He
I don't
said it
know.
on the podcast, and I was like, oh,
I don't
I
remember
didn't even
exact
know it
term.
was that. I didn't know that was the acronym, bro. I thought it was just iced. I thought they were ice cold or something, you know? Like,
No. Yeah.
I know it was like immigration counseling.
Immigration and customs enforcement.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is a civil war that breaks, because there's so many people on both sides of it, like, do you think that, like, I heard this in a podcast, like, Andrew Bustamante was saying that the way we're going to shift superpowers from, like, America to another is if there's internal turmoil and external turmoil. So you have, if there's a civil war and then we have, like, a war breakout externally, like World War III, that is the ripe conditions for a new superpower to take over.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they say for about 100 years, and we're coming up to the 100-year mark for America. So it's like, are we about to see a shift in
Would have
superpowers?
been
Because,
100.
like,
What was 100 years? What?
cyclically, like, superpowers change every 100 years. Like, the last one before USA was Great Britain, and then World War II happened, and then America became the new superpower.
But Great Britain was power for only 100 years.
That's what they said.
I don't. I think they were
Yeah.
there longer, right? Than 100 years.
No, superpower.
Yeah.
When was World War II?
World War Two
Because
was
the superpower, or no,
mm,
World War One. Whenever there was, like, Britain, and then it became America was the new superpower. The first superpower was
no,
Britain,
no.
and
Yeah, I
then they
understand.
had
I
like all that
understand that.
war.
No. I understand that. But I'm saying, like, where's this 100 years cycle thing? Was Britain only in power for 100 years?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Am I
that's
choppy
a
right now?
no. Right now, you're fine.
Okay, you were a little choppy. I wonder if the heat is affecting. Anyways, yeah. So you're saying?
Yeah, no. Like that's the only way to prove. Like, what was Britain only in power for 100 years?
I don't know. I just listened to an economist say it, or like 150 years, something like that. It's like 100, 150 years. Like, they go through these cycles, and we're now entering into this new cycle of the tail end of America. And I'm just like, maybe, but then now I'm looking at things and I'm like, seems a little, like, too convenient, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You have this internal strife and you have, like, external strife with what just happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like? Do you think we're at tail end, or do you think it's still? Because they send you that other dude who's like, we're not entering into a World War III. Everything's totally fine. I'm like, really? Is it? What is the czar, the history czar, or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that this
Um,
morning. I was like, are you sure?
Well, that's why I watched the DW news stuff about
Okay.
the
All right, let's
scenario,
segue into it now. Go for it.
right? In
Give
a
me the lead up though. Give
way,
me the lead up. Before this, like what
so the
happened?
whole thing about the Iran thing,
Mhm.
um, well, from Israel's point of view, Iran has been an issue, which has been funding Hamas or Hezbollah, like what do you call it, proxy war with Israel.
Okay.
So I think Israel always wanted U.S. to help them in fighting Iran, and that's what's happened. And lead up to that, it's been going on. Um, Even Trump was like tweeting about it maybe last week or a week before, where it's like they have, um, uh, or they're leading towards having a nuclear weapon and things like that, right? Firstly, like
Okay.
to understand also what's going on, like Saudi Arabia doesn't want any of these their neighboring nations to have nuclear weapons. If they do, then they need one, right? Because Saudi Arabia and Iran are enemies,
Okay.
and but it's the same thing like during Bush, where they're like, Iraq has nuclear weapons, we got to go in, right?
Mm.
And he's
Yeah,
using the
yeah.
same thing. Well, like UN said, and I think even some people probably within the United States at that time said like they don't have
Oh,
any nuclear weapons.
WMDs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Weapons
Okay,
of
yeah,
mass
I remember
destruction.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So the same thing, which is what they were asking him when they're like, "Oh, you're an intelligence agent or intelligence personnel said that they don't have any. There's no evidence of them having nuclear weapons, or right?" And then
Okay.
and Trump, I'll show you the clip, but Trump was like, uh, no, they're wrong. They do have, or they're leading towards it, or something like that. I'm not paraphrasing exactly. And then he asked him like, who said it, and it was his own person that picked him. Who he picked was Tulsi Gabbard, right? It was Tulsi Gabbard who
Right.
said it,
Okay.
and then she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, she's wrong.
Ooh. Okay. So you think it's the same play?
It seems like it's the same play, but also it's like there's so many other things involved. There was an Iran deal when Obama was in office that he made a deal with Iran that they can have nuclear for civilian use, but they'll be going through regulations, and they can't really like do a lot of stuff with the like the waste part. So that would be so if they kept the waste, I guess you can create nuclear weapon. I don't know the exact logistics, but then those things will be shipped to France to deal with, or to, so
Oh,
they can't
interesting.
like make a nuclear weapon. You can do civilian use, but not make nuclear weapons. That was part of the whole Iran deal. But that was then what was Trump always been saying. Oh, Obama's going to lead us to a war with Iran. Like I remember, there's
Ooh.
like a bunch of tweets before that he had posted about these things. Right there, he's going to lead us to
Yeah,
World War
yeah.
III. Blah blah blah. And then, um, when Trump first came in office, like the first time, he got rid of that deal. So Iran, who does Iran like? Iran can't trust America, right? In
Yeah.
anything like this. So eventually, like now that he's back in office, it's kind of like weird that all of a sudden he's saying that they do have, or they're weeks away from having a nuclear weapon. So we gotta bomb them, and then they bombed 3 nuclear facilities.
Okay. Did they bring this up beforehand, or was it a surprise?
In like the last few weeks.
Like, was there any
Yeah, 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 yeah. He's
like
been tweeting about it for the
warning?
last few
Oh,
weeks.
he's like, I'm gonna bomb you guys.
Yeah, he's saying like make a peace deal or something, and then in 2 weeks. But I think that was the surprise that it wasn't still
Not
two
2 weeks.
weeks yet. It was like within a week that he attacked,
Ooh.
right?
Okay.
And
Ooh.
Israel, it was happy because now they have, because Israel was the only one really bombing or shooting rockets at Iran, like prior to this, right? Weeks ago.
What was that? Like, I just been seeing that in my feed. Like, people were eating at a restaurant. They'd see like the fireworks display, and I was like, bro, what are you guys doing?
hmm Yeah, so
Like,
that
why were
was,
they shooting?
well, that's so from Israel's point of view, that's because Iran is funding the proxy war through Hamas and Hezbollah, right?
But why are you
And
shooting missiles and stuff at them?
as a retaliatory action. like Israel,
Okay.
and then Iran would do the same thing back.
Okay.
And it was just between those two. America wasn't going to get involved, and then now they are involved.
Were the missiles landing? Because it was weird that I was watching a bunch of
Some
people
missiles
like
may have landed,
tweeting,
yeah,
but the Iron Dome thing was working.
yeah, but there's only limitations, like how many, depending on how many bombs are coming, right?
Jeez. Okay.
So it's
And
still going
then
on now, and now it's escalated to the point where America wasn't going to get involved, but they're now involved, right? They're the ones who dropped the bombs. So we have to see. We
okay.
have to see what is Iran's reaction to this. Now, is this World War III? That's the question. I don't think. Well, based on what they're saying, it seems like I don't think Russia's going to really get involved in. And if China would be upset if that there's a channel where they ship the oil.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
that,
I heard about that.
yeah, if that stops, it really affects China because they're not going to get, no, they're not going to be able to get the oil. So China won't be happy with that if that happens. So
Okay.
that's the reason that I don't think other countries are going to get involved. But we have to see what is Iran's actual
Because they said we're gonna end
action.
it, right? Remember, you started it, and now we're gonna end it. That's what their response was, or something.
Whose response? America's?
Iran's, no, Iran. I saw it this morning. They're like, Trump, Mr. Trump, you started it. Now we will end it. And I'm like,
What does that end it mean? Like we'll sign the peace
that's what
treaty
everyone was
or
saying.
okay.
No, that's what everyone was saying. Like people are
Yeah.
like, well, what does that mean? Is it like a
So we
threat
don't know.
or
Yeah, we have to see what their reaction is. And there are like American troops around the neighboring countries, so they could attack them. Um, but
but then if you
then that'll
attack them,
escalate more. Then of course America's going to
yeah.
attack further. So we have to see what their
So
reaction is.
okay, so Bernie Sanders and AOC, I saw it this morning, they were like calling for impeachment
Hmm.
because you're supposed to go through Congress before starting like some acts of war. I don't know if this is real, whatever. You guys are the experts, not me. But that would be crazy. Imagine if they like try to impeach him and then Trump's followers like, no. Like, could this spur into more of a civil war? You already have the ICE thing, and then now it's like they're trying to kick out the president,
Hmm.
and then the president's like, "No, I was justified in my thing," blah blah. And then you have like one side defending him, one side attacking him. It's again more like it's like you're bubbling up more civil war
Hmm.
things. It's literally the Civil War movie. Remember, he's like, "Oh, he's trying to save for an extra term," and then they're like fighting,
Right.
right? Like we're watching that literally play out right now, and I'm like,
Hmm.
do we not see like? Are we living in a house of cards? I was asking your brother this yesterday. Like, with everything that's going on, doesn't it seem like the world is just a house of cards waiting for the wind to blow? Not just about this, like about money, about like logistic systems, like it's like okay, we're gonna use the China's using the oil, but it's like okay, but that's a paper thin agreement. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you just choose to shut it off, or
Hmm.
like where do you pivot to? It's almost like everyone's on edge.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
wasn't that the thing of like World War One? I remember this being the not motto. It's like the tagline. It was like a powder keg ready to blow. The world was a powder keg at the time,
Hmm.
and then like the killing of Franz Ferdinand was it sparked like this war, which sparked another war, which sparked another war, and then that became the World War. And it's like, are we in our own powder keg right now?
It's a good question. Don't know.
Right? And
Hmm.
then it's like, not only that, but what does that mean economically?
Oh yeah, it's detrimental to the economy
Right?
anymore.
And then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, what does that mean to the people? Because let's say we do go into another world war.
Hmm.
There's no way. The the collective consciousness of the internet is what's holding back this like warring mentality. Before it was like, okay, we can control the media, we can control the information. So it's like they're our enemy. You're like, okay, cool, they're our enemy. But now it's like we can see TikToks of people from China, and you're like, dude, you guys seem so cool. Oh, I
Hmm.
love your anime. I love Chinese food. You know what I mean? Like, I love, I don't know, sambo, Russian fighting. You know what I mean? I love Khabib. He's from Russia, and it's like the internet has brought us so close together that it seems so archaic for us to be fighting at this level.
Hmm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like the hardware. Again, it's like the hardware is the same, which is like the warmongering system that we have. And then it's like the operating system is way past the hardware. We need to upgrade the hardware, bro. Because
Hmm.
like the OS, which is like our collectiveness through the internet, our understanding of AI, like all this stuff, our collective internet community, you know, is is so opposed to this barbaric war that we have bubbling up. And it's just like, let's say you go to war. You're like, oh, we're all going to war. And then you just all connect over the internet. You're like, hey, I'm just gonna sit down. I'm not gonna join this war. It's like, so then who's gonna fight the war, bro?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's almost like it's the last play of the old guard.
Yeah. Well, what I find funny is it has to be a Republican that starts another war, right? He was never a Democrat, but they blame the Democrats on all these things.
Oh, true. That's pretty funny. Yeah, yeah, true, true, true. It's ironic.
Hmm.
It's weird too. Do you see that thing I sent you this morning? Like that they're all like 70 years old. They're all in their 70s. All these
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who are like,
Right.
but it's
Yeah.
like, bro, you guys are 70. You ever meet a Gen Z person?
Hmm.
Like that Gen Z person is not fighting for you. That Gen Z person is believing in utopias and aliens and um, infinite gender types. You know what I mean? Like, have you met them? They're
Hmm.
gonna call
Hmm.
you cringe, bro. You know what I mean? It's like we. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like we have this old thing that's just trying so hard to survive, but like the new way of doing things is like it's so against that.
Hmm.
It's like a battle between not good and evil, let's say, but just like old and new.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just feel like it's so dumb at this point to want to battle each other and shoot each other and like, you know, we have AI
I,
Bigfoot giving us vlogs, bro. That guy's so funny. Like,
hmm. Hmm.
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it's just a no, but a lot of young men did vote for Trump.
Right, but that's like that's like middle America, right? Or it's all over.
Uh, like, is it the majority? I don't know, but he did
And
win a
also like
majority,
young
so
men,
yeah, I think
but
so.
like young men for 18-year-olds? Like what do you mean young men? Like 30s?
Yeah, I
Like
think
what's the
so.
age group? 30s. Okay, cool, 30s. But like so those 30-year-olds, because if you're going to war, like World War One, world like the conscription, like how old were you when you could go to war?
Probably 18.
Wasn't it like 18? Okay, cool, 18. You ever met an 18-year-old now? That dog's
Hmm.
not fighting. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, hey man, just grab this gun. They're like, what? Why? Or maybe that's why they created drones because they're like, it doesn't matter. We don't even need humans. It's just gonna be drone warfare.
Yeah, yeah.
But then it's like you have all these old people pushing the button on what could destroy our entire planet.
Hmm.
I just don't see this ending. I just don't see this ending other than like some weird strike. That's what Billy Carson was saying. He's like, we need to just stop everything. We showed we can do it with the COVID, where we just shut the world down. Let's just do it again, but through peaceful means. We're just like, hey, we're just not going to work until
Yeah.
like we're protesting. We're
Hmm.
not going to go to work until this is resolved.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
economy's fully shut down. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's true.
It seems like a crazy pipe dream, but the funny part is John Lennon. You know him,
Hmm.
John Lennon Beatles.
Yeah.
He did that back in the 60s during the Vietnam War. He was urging people. He even like paid for billboards, like stay at home, because like if we just stay at home and don't go to work, nobody's going to like the economy will stop and they'll have to stop the war,
Right.
right? But it's like this dude paid for billboards. Now we have viral videos for free.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't see the old rhetoric winning.
Sure.
Do you, or like how does this play out? I'm just wondering. It's like are we just screwed?
I don't know. We had to see how this plays out. I don't know what the reaction is going to be from Iran, but it's not
Right? And then like
right. They said they're
this
going to
is not
react, so we have to see what level of retaliation will that be. I don't think other countries are going to get involved, like China or Russia, because that is their allies.
but it's so again, it's like so weird because like that's such a global view, but like I love Iranian food, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
trained with Iranian people. So it's
But a lot
like,
of but a lot of there's it's mixed, but there's a lot of Iranians that don't like that government, so they do. Some of them do support this.
okay. But it's not this is the thing, it's like it's not the people,
Yeah.
it's the people at the top.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to the first story that I was saying like in the beginning of the podcast when I was like with those higher ups, I'm like, oh, they're all so insecure. But then like you go to the lower person and like they're all because on a human level, if you just like we're all fired, we're all just on the street, we're just humans. It's like what merit do you have? Are you still like worthy enough to be around?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of weird. Like oh, I have to be around you because you're my boss. But like if you weren't my boss, I wouldn't hang out with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that kind of mentality,
Sure.
right? So it's like shouldn't we all just be good human beings so that like even if you are my boss, like oh, you're still cool though, you know?
Right.
But it's like it's like that. It's like the government's weird, but the people are cool.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we do about that? Is it a paper? Is it a house of cards ready to blow over?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I'm just
yeah.
like, dude, this is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Even with our financial system, it's like, okay, let's say you explode China, like you nuke China.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we won the war. Great. Where are my garments? Where is my cup? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like it's cool for you guys because you won something, but like the end person is like suffering because of it. A lot of things are made in China, bro.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the house of cards. I'm saying it's like, what are the ramifications of your decision, bro? If we literally go to war, like I don't even think we can go. I'm just gonna place it. I don't think we're gonna go to war. Not because like sure they'll be like yeah we're gonna go war, but like I don't think it's gonna be like I don't think our heart's gonna be in it. You know, people
Mm-hmm.
like World War One, World War Two. They're like yeah we're fighting for some. We're fighting against the Nazis. The Nazis are evil. Blah blah blah. Like you had an enemy, but like your enemy is your friend now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even like UFC, bro. You have all those fighters from different countries. They show the flag in UFC. They're all competing with one another. They're friends behind the scenes. It's like,
Yeah,
how are
yeah.
we gonna go to war?
Mm-hmm. True.
Right? And then are you just gonna like pull some other thing of like fake a UFO invasion because the war didn't work? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we gonna do, bro? Like, how are we gonna keep controlling the masses?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Like, you think that's on the table? Maybe they'll just fake a UFO invasion. A lot of people have been talking about that as like the one world government tactic,
Right. Sure. But we'll see. I don't know if that's necessarily gonna happen.
right? Because it sounds dumb. It's
Mm-hmm.
like people will be like, "Yo, we saw this on the internet too."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Are we like it's not that we're an apathetic species anymore. Like people are like, oh, you're just apathetic. You just don't want to support anything. It's like maybe we're just like fed up with the BS.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like do you think people are fed up with the BS, or do you think that they're still tapped into some weird ideology that they don't even know about, but they support blindly? Do you think we're robots, or do you think we're like individualists now?
I think that's the battle that's happening.
Yeah.
People that are individualists or seeing the issues, but there are people that, again, that we have the celebrity culture that follow Trump. Doesn't matter what he's doing, they agree with everything that he's doing,
True.
and
True.
they still blame Obama. Obama set this up. It's because of them. That's why he has to act.
True.
That's what they're doing.
Wow, that's so interesting. It's like it's a psychological war.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, but every war is a psychological war. It's like, can I convince you to kill somebody else?
Right. Yeah.
But like, right? It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
World War One, World War Two, even just going to war. It's like, can I convince a whole like millions of soldiers to just shoot other people?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's like, but you as the leader aren't even on the battlefield, bro. None of your family members are on the battlefield. This is what Billy Carson said too. He's like, you have a bunch of people getting paid so low who are doing the bidding of people that are not even in harm's way. You're literally just a pawn. He's like, you call them NPCs because like you're not thinking critically, bro. Like you're getting paid nothing to go shoot a bunch of other people. Whereas like the dude that's worth trillions of dollars is like totally safe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's the psychological war, bro. Can I mind manipulate a bunch of
But you know
people
who
into
did
believing this
have? You know
thing?
who did have a son in the army there,
Who?
or before? Joe Biden.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he lost his son to the toxic waste or smell
Oh,
or whatever.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Huh. Well, must have not loved his son enough to stop the war. No, I'm just kidding. But like, you
Well,
know
he
what I mean?
didn't
That's
start
like
any wars, but they blamed him for the Russia war.
fair, fair.
He's the one trying to be diplomatic and stuff, right? He didn't start any wars. It was Russia that started the war, but they blamed Biden to start that war.
It's interesting to think about. Yeah, yeah. But
Right?
there it is again. It's like there's the manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
There's this like psyop. Like literally, can
Yeah.
I convince you,
Yeah. And that's what Trump did.
dude? You know it's actually really crazy to think
Like
about. You ever see
even though
Warzone?
think about
Yeah,
it, even though he dropped the bombs in Iran, like the people are blaming, well, this had to happen because of Obama.
that's
What?
crazy, bro. See, psyop. It's like,
Exactly.
can I just? The real war is a psychological war, bro. Like, can I convince you that my lies are truths?
Yeah.
And they'll die for it too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because people are just like their ideas are their identity, and it's like, dude, ideas come and go, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see the movie Warzone? I think
I
it's called
think
Warzone. The one that freaked me out.
so.
The one that came out recently.
Oh no, I
Wob
didn't see
saw
that
it
one
and
yet.
he, oh, dude, you gotta see it. It's crazy, especially
Mm-hmm.
on the eve of this thing. It's so crazy. Wob saw it and he posted about how it's like this is just horrific. Like it's just and like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it didn't glorify war, and that was the point of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like okay, like let me put you in a scenario. You're face to face with a dude. So okay, the dude in front of you lost his kid to a bomb strike that your country made. Okay. Now he wants to fight you because he lost his family.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if you lost your family, you'd want to fight them.
Sure.
Okay. But he has other children with him. Okay. He's not even technologically close to you when it comes to like armament. Okay. You are like, let's say you're in a battle suit, you can't be killed. All you have to do is pull the trigger, shoot him, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
What do I like that scenario? You'd be like, ooh, that's a tough one, bro. Like, I understand where you're coming from. And like even the Navy SEALs, like Sean Ryan talked about it, you can't humanize these people. That's what he had to do. He's like, can't think about the backstory. You have to kill them. And I'm like, dude, that's
Sure.
indoctrination, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's mind manipulation. They're a human too. You can understand why they're pissed at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you've
Yeah.
come to some point where somebody's told you something and you have this ideology in your head that like, if I shoot you and kill you, I'm doing the right thing. But it's like, no, that's the wrong thing, but you're doing it anyways because somebody told you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like to actually murder somebody is like that's a big step. And they're not even like I listen to Navy SEAL podcast, right? And they're like not even thinking about murder. They're like they're protecting their home. And I'm like, dude, you're literally in their country slaughtering them. What do you
Mm-hmm.
mean? You know? They're not even here. You're deployed there
Mm-hmm.
to slaughter them. Like, is that not weird? You don't think that's weird?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah,
It's weird, right? So it's
yeah. Yeah.
like that is the psychological manipulation. That is like that's the war we're really fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like a freedom of humanity. Like oh, that's the real war actually. Yeah, it's the humanity, the spirit versus like I don't know, the material. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like it's like the line in the sand isn't real, bro. It's material. But you're both human. But you're defending that line in the sand to the bitter end. For what? Like, yeah,
Right.
okay, the peace here. Sure, okay. I get that. But like, when is enough enough, bro?
Mm-hmm.
No, but actually though, when is
Yeah.
enough enough? You know what I mean? Like, do you have to conquer the whole world for you to be safe? How like why do we need such a military force?
Looked for the U.S.
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
why do you need that? To protect yourself?
Uh, in a way, but a lot of countries have given the power to America to protect them.
So are we just in a one world government then?
Technically, yeah.
Right? And it's like the only way there's only two ways to go about this is either you kill in order to create your supremacy or use commerce to because like we just depend on you so much that we just want the business to keep flowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
but but outside of tanks and guns, what does America produce?
Services.
Like what?
No, just tech world stuff.
But no, but they outsource the actual production of the tech to different countries. Like it's like designed in California but manufactured in
Yeah,
China.
that's for manufacturing things. But a lot of the software comes from America.
Right, okay. So it's like outside of that, like why can't you leverage your software? Like I don't understand the point of war at 20 in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
We're such a global economy that it's like why do you need to bomb?
True.
Like literally what are you afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. All right, you let Iran have its nuclear weapon. Iran nukes you. You know how many people would be pissed that you just nuked us?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, we need the software, bro. We need the robots. Like, why are you gonna do that? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It's like you're creating this threat narrative. What do you think Iran's gonna take over the world? Like what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you get my point of view? Where it's like why did why do you need to strong arm the whole world? Why
Sure.
can't we rely on commerce?
Yeah, I think
No, it's a serious
that's
question. Like I don't know. Like why are we still
well.
doing this game of war?
That's exactly, yeah. That's the way this government is acting, right? That's who.
About why we need war? Or
No,
like
no,
what?
I'm saying like this is how this government wants to react versus actual like negotiations. Like why, like the whole Obama and the Iran deal. That's a peace deal
Yeah.
in a way, right? But who
Yeah.
broke it? Who broke it? Who tore it up? It was Trump.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
So
like, but
Trump
like
is
why,
the.
bro?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the question to ask the Trump administration.
Is
Seems
that
like
like
the
some
Republicans.
Hitler?
It seems like the that administration wants to do this.
Right?
Go in this
And it's like,
direction. Yeah.
is that like some Hitler stuff, bro? Like, you know, like, oh, I want to conquer the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I actually just don't get it. Like, I don't get what America's so afraid of.
I don't know. That is what
Like,
that's
let's
the
say they build
question
a
to
nuke.
ask.
Like,
Right.
let's say Iran builds a nuke. Okay, what are you gonna do with that nuke, bro?
Mm-hmm.
That's a real question. Like, what are you gonna do with that nuke, bro? Okay, so you nuke us. Then, well, what's your next step? Are you gonna somehow take over the world? What are you gonna do?
Well,
Do you
again,
see what I'm
if
saying? It's like, what are you gonna do with that?
mhm.
Like, okay, I've destroyed your house. Dude, we were relying on the goddamn house, bro.
In a way, see, a lot of countries. So if Iran has a nuke, Saudi Arabia wants a nuke, right?
Okay,
But
cool.
the nuke,
All
the
gonna get
point,
nukes.
no. The point of Iran to have a nuke, i- which is a lot of countries that do have the nukes, are just is prevention of war,
Yeah, of course. War deterrent. Yeah, yeah, for
right?
sure.
It's a deterrent,
Yeah.
but they're not allowing Iran to get that deterrent.
Right.
Why? That's the question to ask them. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, okay. Let me bring it back to martial arts. So when I roll with another, I took this mentality from Colonel Gracie, where he's like, I'm not going to smash you as a new student,
Hmm.
because, or no, no, for as a hobby, I'm not going to smash my new student because that new student could become a really good training partner in the future. Okay, so like, if you want to make the training ground, aka Earth, good, you have to build each other up, right?
Hmm.
But like this strategy is almost like me going in and just destroying every single new person that comes in here. They're so like sad that they don't even want to come back, right?
Hmm.
And it's like, why are you doing that, bro? Like, why you, you know? And if I was afraid of them, it only shows your fear, your insecurity if you like crush them. But I play around with people and I'm like, there's no way you're gonna tap me. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's like, so why do you need that? Like,
Well,
you know what I'm
as you,
saying? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
why do you? I just don't get it. Like,
Hmm.
what is the point? Like, okay, we're gonna stop them from building a nuke. Cool. What would they have done with the nuke?
Right. And I think,
Blow us up. Okay. All right. Will they? Will they?
mhm.
Because if you blow up the major economy, the whole world's gonna be pissed
Hmm.
at you. You see what I mean?
Sure.
Unless there's something I don't see, like they can make a deal and then everyone points their nukes in America and China, Russia take like I don't know. Like,
I don't
is
know.
there
I don't
something
know.
like that?
I don't know. But that's what. But they've been saying that Iran's near to have a nuke for like 40 years or something. I don't know how
Yeah,
long
so
they've been
why?
using that phrase. So that is a question to ask Donald Trump,
Like,
who said
he,
no more wars. Right? What happened?
it's just dumb.
Hmm.
Like it, like the whole thing is just dumb, bro.
Right.
Unless you've seen an argument on the other side. Like I really just want, I just want to know. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I could see that point of view. I just don't see the other points of view.
Well, that is up to the Trump administration to prove that point, right?
Because
All
maybe they do
there's
have a good point. It's like, you're right.
yeah, but
You know,
that's
I
what
didn't know.
they have. They're the only ones that can explain what their point is. Like they're only
Yeah.
saying deter them from having nuclear weapons. That's all what they've been saying. So I don't know if there's more to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. How many months? Well, January, February, March, April, May, June. 6. We're almost like 7 months in, and we're like going crazy right now, bro.
Yeah, what happened to no more wars?
I know.
U.S. never dropped a bomb. Well, I don't think Biden did.
And what's happening to his base? Is his base still supporting him? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. There's
they are,
quite
dude.
a.
That's
They do. Yeah, they
crazy.
do. They're just blaming. It's because of Biden and Obama. They're just blaming them.
That's
There are some people
so
that are
dumb.
against it. There are some people that are against it, but it's the base generally that I think is still for them.
Why? I'm like openly, I just curiously want to know. Like, if you have a solid argument, I'm all for solid arguments. I just don't know what the potential, like,
Exactly, and
what
then
could
it's not.
possibly
I
happen.
mean, that's all what they're saying. But even their own intelligence said that they are not doing that. That they're not going towards
Oh,
or
Tulsi
having.
Gabbard. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll be interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. It's funny because like each week you're kind of like, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen this week. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, there are some people that are
it's
happy.
always
Some people
something.
in the sense that the Israeli government's happy that America's involved. Saudi Arabia is happy that Iran won't have a nuclear weapon, if that is the real case. But these
But is it
are.
a money thing though? Is it like is it okay? You're not in. You don't watch One Piece, but
Mm-mm.
I was saying to your brother yesterday, like it's almost like anime. The dude who created One Piece is trying to tell us exactly what happened. So you have the one world government in One Piece that controls everything. And then you have the pirates that are trying to like find their way in the world, find the ultimate treasure, stuff like that, right? But as you're going about it, you find out that the one world government is like shaping narratives however they want it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then there's a thing called like 100 year gap where for 100 years they erase like all the history. So nobody knows what happened during those 100 years,
Right.
right? Now think about where we are today in society. You have like the Younger Dryas that happened 12,000 years ago, where it's like a nuclear, not a nuclear, like asteroid hit, it like wiped out the planet, and then humanity built from that, right? And you get hunter gatherers, all that stuff. So that was the generally accepted narrative that has been pushed on upon us from the one world
Mm-hmm.
government
Mm-hmm.
in One Piece, right? Um, and then now with like Graham Hancock, you're finding out that it looks like civilization has been around longer than 12,000 years. Because Göbekli Tepe was aged to be at least 12,000 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like you don't just wake up and then all of a sudden build these megalithic structures. So you had to have like foreknowledge. So what was happening before 12,000 years and how come we don't want to look into it?
Mm-hmm.
It's One Piece, bro. Like you have the one world government trying to shape the narrative, keep us at war, and then like the pirates are like looking for the truth, and then you have the 100 year gap, which is like literally where we are in history right now, where you're
Right.
carbon dating things that are older. So like, what really happened? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel right now. Like I was telling your brother, I'm like I'm getting like burnt out by it because I'm like it's a little crazy now. You know, like with the UFOs
Sure.
and like the war, it's just like, dude, we're going nuts. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you too, or
Yeah. I mean, I think it's crazy.
but
This
does it
is.
ever like burn you out?
Um.
Like when you watch those DW things, you're just like, bro, what are we doing? But it's like a car crash you can't stop watching. You know, like the UFO thing just came out. Like, oh, I gotta watch that now. But it's
Sure.
like, do I really want to know? I do want to know because it looks cool. You know.
Mm-hmm. In some
But
ways,
like
yeah.
you,
But
or
you mix it up with different things. You can't just be in that world. If you're only gonna listen to that, I think there's a burnout there. Got to mix it up with
but
some other positive things,
for sure, for sure, for sure.
right?
But at the same time, it's like that's the most important thing we need to look at.
Sure. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's
like
the one that's
this is gonna determine
affecting.
a lot of things,
Of
guys.
course. Yeah.
You don't want to be asleep at the wheel and it's like, oh, wake up tomorrow, World War III. You're like, what happened? I didn't even see, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But like paying attention to it's like, oh, dude, this is mind numbingly tiring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't feel that when you look into.
Mm. No, I try to play with different things, so not just stay in that one topic. Right now, that's kind of the thing. What I'm.
That's why I like martial arts. Just like
Yeah.
it just empties the mind because like you just go do something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like planning seems tough because you're like, how do I plan for the future? Yeah, the future looks murky.
That's why if you looked at the whole stock market, it's not sure what
Even
to
that too,
expect.
the stock market too. You're just like, bro, now the stock market's going crazy, bro. What are we doing? You know?
It's going all over the place because they're not too sure
Right.
what this means. Yeah.
But you know that people are making money off that because you can hedge your bets, right?
Sure.
So when it
Yeah. Yeah.
dips, you
Yeah.
can make money off the dip. So it's like, are they playing something behind the scenes too, where it's like market manipulation again?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I don't take that away from Trump doing that.
right? And you're like, dude, are
I
we
mean,
all
there
being played?
he's making the most out of it. Like they released Trump Mobile, like for phones.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not lying.
Are we being played?
That's what he's doing. He made his own coin. People put money into that coin. Like he knows this is his last term. He's
Oh
making
my
as much money
god.
as possible from it.
Is this literally good and evil? Are we watching like evil take over the earth? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, this is
Mm-hmm.
crazy right now. Like, this is literally like the spiritual war taking. This is the Armageddon. Not like end of the world, but like good and evil like fighting right now.
Sure. Yeah.
This is some craziness. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Any final things on that?
On that one, well, I don't know. They'll have to see what the retaliation will be. Will it be in days or weeks? I don't know. So far, their Ayatollah, their leader, was in the bunker, so I don't think that information's come out as to what he wants to do next.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay. It. Okay. Yeah. I want to leave with a
I don't
positive
know.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it can escalate, but we don't know. But Trump's speech yesterday was, it's, I forgot how he termed it, but it's like peace talks now or something. I don't know, something like that. After them attacking.
Okay. Do, slight shift, and then that'll be the last thing. Do you think that? Do you believe that we are all essentially the same thing, but it's like our experience, like our consciousness is all the same and connected. But if I lived your experience, I would have been you,
Sure.
right? Like I can see
Yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
your stuff led to you being you, just like a
Mm-hmm,
trauma.
mm-hmm,
I can see how that stuff led to you being you,
mm-hmm.
right? And we're all technically from the Big Bang. We all came from one thing.
Yeah,
We are all literally one. If there was no Big Bang, there would not be
yeah,
us,
yeah.
right? So is it like, is this just the like I heard this on Billy Carson. I'm like, that's pretty interesting. It's like the universe is a data gathering device or machine or something. And it's just like playing out these different scenarios so it can know what it's like to be these different things,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like, is this all just a mental data gathering thing, and like it's all just playing itself out, and we're just watching, like, will, like, if this was a petri dish, you're like, will the virus take over
Sure.
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
organism?
yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I
but
understand
it's
what you're
all the
saying.
same thing though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know
But
what I
like
mean?
under
And it's
certain
just,
circumstances, right? Well, if it's too cold, then it's not going to. If it's
that's
hot,
what I'm saying.
it's going to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think
It's
I
almost
see what
like
you're saying.
that,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? Like, is the universe, like, let's say you were a scientist, the universe is a scientist, and it's just like putting this experiment down, like watching it, like, huh, what if I just put a little bit of that?
Yeah.
And then, like, okay, it's moving in this direction. Okay, well, what happens if we introduce this? And then it's moving in this direction. You know what I mean? It's like, it's almost like we are literally just one organism that's like a viral organism that's either going to take over the planet or not,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And are we a negative organism? Are we going to kill the host? Or are we like a symbiotic organism where we're going to like work with the host,
Right.
you know? It's almost, you know what it's like? It's like you have the earth, right? And then you have panspermia, like the bacteria comes from a different planet and then
Mm-hmm.
it lands on earth and then life grows. So they hypothesize that human beings are a part of, or like life on Earth is a part of panspermia, right? If that's true, then we are technically aliens because like it came not from Earth, right? So is it almost like that's kind of the thing? It's like you have this like this device that can habitate life, and then you're like, let me just drop some life in there and like let's see what develops from this thing. Because it just seems like a weird horde thing that we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
War, no war, blue, red. Trump's the enemy. Trump's the god. And just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, we even talk about Trump with the hot mic. He's like, oh, and they need to follow their people, like him being the king. I'm like, dude, what are you saying? It's like,
Sure.
it's like this is almost like what it is.
Mm-hmm.
This like experiment of life on a planet. You know,
Yeah,
or does
yeah,
that
yeah.
seem too out there? But you know what I'm trying to say, right? It's like it
Yeah.
looks so crazy. It's just like if you zoomed out, you're not like my day to day life. I gotta pay bills. I gotta feed myself. Blah blah blah. If you zoomed out and you look at it like anthropomorphically or like as a science experiment, you're like, oh, I could totally see how this is working.
Yeah, of course.
Like let's give them internet so that they can talk. Ooh, interesting. They're kind of working together. Hmm. But that's
Mm-hmm.
almost like the UFO thing. Remember I told you like let's just drop a craft and see what they do with the craft. Oh, they
Right.
turn into a weapon. Interesting. Okay, okay. Right? Like,
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Maybe
in that,
that's
and well, that means we're in the simulation.
that right. Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
No, literally. But not like a matrix simulation, but like a simulation and it's like it's controlled experiment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when you say, oh, we're in a simulation, it's like, oh, we're in code. It's like not really. It's more like a controlled experiment.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like Earth is a controlled experiment right now.
Right.
Because we can't leave Earth. Like you and I can't leave Earth. We're stuck
Mm-hmm.
here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then and the only thing that changes the experiment is your decisions. Oh my god, that's so crazy. The only thing that actually changes Earth is a thought,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, okay, if I tell you to be a better person, you become a better person, then you're gonna tell another person to be a better person. Another person's gonna tell.
Sure.
It's like a intergenerational trauma,
Right. Yeah.
right? Same thing. Or intergenerational positivity.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's more like it's just your thought DNA programming. It goes back to CBT from last week, which is like emotions, thoughts, behaviors. And we can control a behavior by controlling the thought,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, is that what this is? Is fear going to win over love? I don't know. Let's see.
True. Yeah.
But that's what that's the craziest part about this. You're like, yeah, that's true, right? But if you look into like Christianity and stuff, it's like a chessboard and it's like God and the devil playing chess with humanity.
Mm-hmm.
But God and the devil are friends. That's why they're playing a chess game.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
It's just like that's all they're doing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that is life.
I think that's what these analogies to life is. That's why we read about those stories. 'Cause that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's not just them. It was Zeus, the Greeks. It was
Yeah,
always
totally.
that,
Yeah, for sure.
right? We gave it to, like, why are we fighting?
God of
What's this
War versus
war? God
Athena.
of
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe so many people knew back then. They were like, oh, we're just like a giant science experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but the craziest part is like going back to the beginning. It's like, if you just understood the key, which is farming your XP and getting rid of the mind so that you don't think about it, you just like farm the XP for positivity. It's like maybe that's what we need to learn. Maybe that's what like the whole end game is. Like what's the meaning of life, right? There's no meaning technically to our individual lives, but as a
Yeah.
whole, there is meaning to our life. It's
Mm-hmm.
like everyday actions affect the world positively or negatively. And your actions quite literally shape the world around you, and then the world that's around you expands to the general world as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we are all change agents for this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know when you have like clear water and you drop like ink in the water and you see it like spread?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like that. I'm gonna drop a little bit of blue, and it's like, okay, it's starting to spread. Okay, and then the bad sides. I'm gonna drop a little red, and then it's gonna start turning red. And you just keep both. Everyone just keeps dropping their ink drops until like one color's gonna take over, and that's how it feels. But we
Mm.
all have ink droppers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or is that freaking out there? It's like I could see it in my head. I'm like, that's kind of what's
Yeah, I
going
see
on,
it. I
right?
see it. Yeah, yeah,
Because the world, like, what are we doing? You
yeah.
know, you feel so disempowered to change the world, but it's just that ink dropper, bro. Just
Mm-hmm.
drop the ink, and then like somebody else will drop the ink, and then like more ink drops in this direction. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. So drop your ink in a positive direction, because yeah, the bad people are dropping their ink in their direction.
Yeah,
We're all
that's
just
true.
dropping ink, bro. So like,
Mm-hmm.
make your decisions. But it's so hard to drop positive ink when you're in a negative environment.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
that's their
that's the
trick.
toughest thing. Yeah.
But that's their trick. It's like, hey, if I make cost of living so high, if I make it so you have to work all the time, you can't see your kids, you can't do sports, you can't do anything. Now we're going to war. It's like it's so hard to drop a positive bit of ink because there's so much negativity forcing you
Sure.
to be like, just be negative, bro. Just be negative.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. It's easier to blame others.
Right?
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, think about that, bro.
Yeah.
No, I was saying the boxing combination, and it's like, oh, I did that wrong. It's like, stop thinking about that. Just do the next one. It's like, yeah, because that's the negativity just coming in. It's like, everything sucks. It's like it's
Mm.
so easy to fall into the negativity,
Exactly. Yeah.
but just drop the positivity, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. Any final thoughts? I had to get that out because I was like, oh my god, bro, it's like it's so negative right now, dude.
Agreed. Yeah. And I think that's the thing, as you said. Yeah. Drop positive thoughts or
Yeah,
do positive
positive thoughts
things.
and positive actions.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thought, we all have dreams, bro. Everyone wants to do something, but it's like it's the action that matters.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, oh, I killed this person because I was trying to save this other person, but you technically killed someone. It's like still,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, your action is the most important thing. Not your intention matters, but it's what you do because that has like physical ramifications in this world.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Okay, all right. Till next time, just try to be a happy person by shaping your life in a positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And that'll be enough. And then somebody else will do it, and somebody else will do it, and somebody else will do it, and the world will be happy, and we won't need to do this craziness. Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Till next week, Daisy Fish. Hopefully the
Oh,
world doesn't
maybe
blow
not
up.
not not next week. I didn't
Oh,
want to
okay,
say
cool.
that.
Oh, okay, cool. World's
The
gonna blow up.
following
Is that
week.
why?
No, I won't be here.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Yeah. Till 2 weeks. Hopefully the world doesn't blow up in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
A lot of things can change.
That's what I'm
Anyways.
saying, bro. We didn't know this thing was gonna happen in a week. And it's like we do this podcast again in 2 weeks, and we're like, well, so there's no more of that country. You're like, oh, dude, that'd be crazy. Hopefully
True.
not. Hopefully not. Just
Yeah.
focus on your positivity. All right. Till 2 weeks. Take it easy, Vish.
Peace.
Bye. All right. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and check out our sponsors: Zenro Clothing Co., Portian Bakery, and Podbean. Take it easy, Vish.
Peace.